Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session. This is the second campaigns webinar we are doing for this month. So, before we start, let's check if the audio is fine for all of you. If you can hear me fine, please raise your hands on the GoToWebinar control panel, or you could just leave a message on the chat box so we can get started. Okay, thank you so much. So, let's get started. So today's session is about marketing automation. So the theme of the session is how to combine data, people, content, and processes to earn more customers. So my name is Vaijayanti and I'm a product marketer for Zoho Campaigns and I'll be the presenter for today. So we will be talking all about marketing automation and how you can use marketing automation to nurture your subscribers and of course generate more revenues. So I will also be giving a few scenarios where marketing automation will come handy. So the agenda goes like this. So what is marketing automation? Why should you use automation with email marketing? When do you need automation for your business? Followed by a demo and a Q&A session. So if you have any questions during the presentation or the demo, please send them over to us and we'll keep answering them. So we have Suresh from our support team joining us today on the webinar to answer your questions. So before we move on to the main picture, let's have a quick poll to see if we are all on the same page. So I'm going to ask a few questions. So raise your hands when you want to say yes to the questions. So the first question is, do you know how automation works in conjunction with email marketing? So I repeat, do you know how automation works in conjunction with email marketing? Okay, so I see a couple of hands raised there. So let's go to the second question. Do you put all the data you have about your subscribers into proper use? Okay, so I'll go to the final question. Do you send nurture campaigns to your subscribers? So if you said yes for all of these questions, sit back and relax for I'm going to touch upon the basics of marketing automation in order to help others understand the concepts before we deep dive into the product. So let's get into the presentation. So what is marketing automation? Marketing automation is a platform that helps you combine data, content, people, and processes together. So it integrates well with your CRM system and social media platforms to bring in subscriber data that is needed for segmentation and personalization. It can also bring in data that you have collected through sign up forms or the ones that you've scanned from a business card that you used in an event or trade show that you attended. So it acts like a single source of truth, that is, where all your data is stored in one single platform. Marketing automation helps you go beyond the first name and last name personalization. So it helps you personalize every aspect of your emails, right from sender details, email signatures to using demographics for more targeted emails. So with a proper marketing automation system in place, you can create more personalized messages to target your subscribers, evaluate them based on the behavior, and help your sales team with the most engaged subscriber list for further actions. Moving on, why use automation with email marketing? People no longer like cookie cutter copies. They want to receive emails that are specifically written for them. Writing personalized emails to 10 people is easier. What if you have thousands of subscribers in your mailing list? How do you do that then? So that's when marketing automation comes into your rescue. So it helps you collect behavioral data, send the right emails to the right subscribers at the right time, and all of which happens automatically. So let's consider three scenarios. You have data about your subscriber from CRM, social media, various forums, or data based on your subscribers' interaction with your previous emails. So, having these data without proper process in place to engage your subscribers will do no good to your marketing efforts. You will end up having large amount of unused data. So consider the second scenario. You have a process in place, so you have a proper automation in place, but you don't collect behavioral data about your subscribers. So that again is a waste because you will have a lot of content that is not personalized. So the third scenario is when you have behavioral data about your subscribers as well as a proper automation in place. So that's when you'll be able to send the right message to the right audience at the right time. So, when does a business need marketing automation? So, we often hear from a lot of people that we have an email marketing tool and we are just sending emails. Why should we go for marketing automation? So, if anyone has ever asked you this, so here's the answer. You need marketing automation when your subscriber base is growing. So, scalability is a very important aspect that marketing automation takes care of, that email marketing does not. When you want to create and send highly targeted multi-touch email campaigns. So when I say multi-touch email campaigns, it means different ways in which you connect with your subscribers. So it could be in the form of surveys, RSS, and social campaigns. And when you want to measure the effectiveness of each campaign, basically more than clicks and opens, and you need to analyze your subscribers' behavior. And when you want to identify and send only the most engaged subscribers to your sales team for further processing. So these are scenarios where your business would definitely need marketing automation. So how do you use automation in campaigns? So campaigns has two main features that will help you completely automate your emails. So one is autoresponders. Autoresponders work on the concept of drip marketing, where you send out nurturing emails to your subscribers. And workflows let you put your subscribers into the right email series so you always engage them in a more relevant and timely manner. So it's time for demo. So I'll quickly take you through the product. So this is where our automation tab is. So we have autoresponders and workflows. So before you set up automation for your account, you need to make sure that you have your subscriber list ready. So we hope our getting started webinar helped you with that. So we'll move on to automation directly. We have about 7 autoresponder in the product. So let me just pick 2 autoresponders and show how they work. So I've already created a few samples here. So I'll just run you through that. So we'll take the popular one, sign up autoresponder. Sign up autoresponder is generally used to send out welcome emails to your new subscribers. That is, when somebody subscribes to your newsletter and you want to send them nurture emails. So that is when you use this type of autoresponder. So I've already created here. So we have the first email, which goes out when a subscriber joins your mailing list. So that will happen immediately when they join. So the next email here will go 2 days after the subscriber joins the list. So there is also a facility to set a criteria here. So I have already set a criteria. So when somebody opens your first message, they would receive the second message. So I'll just create a follow-up message here to introduce you to the new editor. So I'll give a name for my campaign as nurture email 2. So the subject will be something like know more about you can also use emojis to make it look interesting. So I'll just choose a pre-designed template. You can customize the template based on your needs with the tools available here. And you can also add a personal touch to the emails that you send by using our new feature, dynamic content. So say I want to target my emails based on a subscriber's location. So I'll just pick where I want to place the dynamic content. So I can choose a segment name because I've already created a segment in the mailing list called a country-based segment. So I say segment name contains USA. So So if a person opens this email from the US, they'll be able to see this message, and people who are in the rest of the world, they'll be seeing the default content. So the dynamic content makes it more personal. Save and proceed. So you can also set a campaign specific scoring here to evaluate your subscribers. So it could be based on, say, clicks. So when a subscriber clicks your email CTA for more than 2 times, you add a score of 20 to them. So you can evaluate your subscribers based on the actions that they take on your email. Sign up autoresponder generally gets triggered when a new subscriber gets added to a list and meets the condition you have specified. But you can also send your emails to people who are already part of your list by using this feature. So if you choose send to miss subscribers, people who are already part of your mailing list will receive this email. And we also have an end of series action. So if you think you've nurtured your subscribers enough and you think your subscribers are most engaged now, you can move them to another list from here. Now moving on to another autoresponder called Smart Series. This is one of our new autoresponders. So Smart Series is generally used to send archive links of your previous campaigns when a subscriber joins the list after a series is already started. So I already created one here. So say you generally send weekly newsletters or weekly tips to your subscribers. And when someone joins you during the second week, so they've already missed out on the first week's tip, you can add an archive link of the first newsletter in this email so they don't miss out on anything. So let me just create one to show you how it works. So I create a follow-up message. So I've already sent 2 messages. So 2 tips have already gone. So when somebody joins you after 2 tips, so I type in a subject So I'll just use a basic template here. So in the editor, under the basic tools, you have something called Smart Series. So if you click onto it, you'll be able to see the first two messages that have already gone. So this goes for a subscriber who joins after the first two messages already gone. So he'll be able to see the third message as well as the first two messages, so he doesn't miss out on anything and he's always informed. Now going back to my presentation, when to use which autoresponder is a very common question that we often get. So let's see scenarios where each autoresponder can be used. So sign up autoresponder I've already covered. So this is when you already have a sign up form on your web page and you collect subscriber information through that. So you can immediately send a thank you email or welcome email to your subscribers and welcome them into your service. So date field autoresponder works on the subscriber information that you have. So if you have a date related information that your subscribers have provided you, so that's when you use a date field autoresponder. For example, if you're running a bookstore, whenever a person buys a book, you collect their date of birth or anniversary date, and you can make your customers very happy by sending them birthday wishes or anniversary wishes. You can use date field autoresponders to even send subscription renewal emails. When you know the subscription renewal date of a particular subscriber and you want to remind them, that's when you use a date field autoresponder. Calendar based autoresponder works when you are setting out a promotional email. And for example, if you run a boutique and you want to send seasonal promotions to your subscribers, so you can choose the date from the calendar and configure emails. Say you want to send out Christmas promotions, so you can just choose the date and send out emails and it will automatically go to your subscribers. So you can also use this autoresponder to wish your subscribers during festivals and promotions. So cyclic autoresponder is also pretty new. So this is something similar to calendar autoresponder, but the difference is this is recurring. So say you have a restaurant and you offer discounts every Wednesday. So you can configure emails that go out on every Wednesday. And the major difference here is you can edit the content and you can actually change content here. So you can alter the content, whereas in calendar, you'll not be able to do that. And this is recurring. So email action based autoresponder works based on your subscribers' action in your emails. That is based on their behavior and how they interact with your emails. So say you're sending a welcome email to your new subscribers and you want to follow up based on their response to your previous emails, that is open or clicks. So that's when you use email action autoresponder. A closed group autoresponder is used when you want to send out email campaigns only to a particular restricted amount of subscribers. Say you have a beta release coming up and you want to open it out only to a set of customers. So you can add them onto your list and send emails. You can also use this autoresponder to send out event information. Say you're running an event and you want to send the agenda and follow-up emails only to your event attendees. So that's when you can use closed group autoresponder. Smart series autoresponder I've already covered. Hope you understood. So we'll go back to the product and see how workflows work. So as I already said, workflows help you put your subscribers onto the right email series so that all your messages are relevant, timely, and super personalized. So we have three different types of workflows. Instant workflows get triggered instantly when a subscriber meets a particular criteria that you've mentioned. Time-based workflows work on the time that you mention, and it gets triggered in the time that you mention. Activity-based workflows work based on the actions that your subscribers have taken on your email, say opens or clicks. So let me choose an instant workflow and tell you how it works. So I say most engaged subscribers. So I want to identify the most engaged subscribers and I want to send those details to the sales department. So I'm creating a workflow for that. So I say they present in the list, then they meet the condition subscriber score is greater than or equal to 100. So I'll be pushing these subscribers into CRM since we classify them as the most engaged subscribers. So these are the options that are already available in workflows. So you can remove a subscriber from the list based on the criteria that you've set. You can add them to a particular list. You can trigger emails right from here. You can push the data to CRM. You can update fields in CRM. You can also add scores to the subscribers right from here. You can push the data to webhook. So I will choose push data to CRM. So I will have to configure mapping here. So I'll select my account. So I'll choose the leads module. So we have a preset mapped fields here. So I'll just save. So it will ask you if you want to push the data about your existing and new subscribers or just existing subscribers. So I'll choose both and I will just activate it now. So whenever a subscriber from the list newsletter, new subscriber December meets the following condition, that is when subscriber score is over 100 or equal to 100, they will be pushed to CRM so that your sales team can follow up accordingly. If you have any questions, please feel free to write to us. So we'll keep answering questions for some time. So we have a question from Mike. So he is asking, if you create a drip series of emails, say 5 emails to be sent out monthly, when a new person joins in, does it start them on the first email? So Mike, yes, if you use a sign up based autoresponder, so they will be receiving the first email from the series right after they join the list. And if you don't want them to receive from the start of the series, you can use a smart series autoresponder. So they'll be getting emails from where they join, but you can add the archived links of the previous emails to keep them informed. We'll be here for a few more minutes. So if you have any questions, please send them over to us. So Eric asks, can you cover the scoring options? Sure, Eric. So we'll go to the product. So under subscribers tab, you can find subscriber scoring. So you can set subscriber scores based on campaign activity, that is based on the unique opens, unique clicks or multiple clicks that your subscribers make. So you can edit the scores here. And if you don't want it, you can disable it. And you can also add scores based on the subscriber field information that you have. So let me create one. So I want to create one based on the job title. So I say job title based scoring. So if a person has the job title that contains marketing manager, so I will add scores to them and activate it. So whenever someone meets this condition, they'll be added a score of 15. So based on this, you can identify the most engaged subscribers and progressing subscribers. So we can also edit the limits for this. So if you want your most engaged subscribers to have a score above 100 or 90, and if you want your progressing subscribers to have a score of 50 to 90, so you want to nurture them more, so you add this, and people who don't fall under the most engaged or progressing subscriber category will be classified as getting started. So you need more nurturing to move them to most engaged or progressing phase. So this is how it works. And if you ask where you can find this, so you go to all subscribers and click on any of the subscriber. So you'll be able to see their scores here. I hope that answers your question.